Joined now, barbecue pitmaster Brice Jones. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Let me turn your mic on. You know, we do this 20 years still, can't turn your mic on, but what else is new, right?
Yeah, you do it all the time.
Hey, if you're going to do something,
Do it
to be the best.
Be the best at it.
Be the best. Why waste time, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Why waste time? Want to have fun today. There's so many different things. Like, it's supposed to be dead in sports. There's been so much fun. Yesterday, Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire at the Big 12 meetings. He's tired. Steve Sarkisian, I guess he went on a bender. I don't know what happened, but, he had that little 3-day stretch where he just decided to take shots at Ole Miss. And he said, his 2s and 3s could go undefeated on the Texas Tech schedule. So Big 12 media days yesterday began, and Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire said, look, I will buy out your first game of the year, like for Texas, which I don't know, Gumby Tech. And Texas Tech said, we'll buy out mine, and we'll play you, Texas. Jerry World. He called Jerry Jones. And it would cost Tech about $2.1 to $2.2 million for both buyouts. And I love that. That's the ultimate put your money where your mouth is. And right now, all Texas Tech has is money.
Yeah, I mean, that was Cody Campbell who will pay the $2.1 or $2.2 million.
Okay.
He said it. He replied. He goes, I'll fund it. That's the one who said, I'll pay for it. They're billionaire guy. And so, look, they're both pandering to their fan bases. And, Joey couldn't let, I've known Joey for a while now. And, he's not one to let that go. Unanswered. Of course, it's not going to happen.
You got to answer.
Yeah, you have to.
If
and he
not,
did.
you are a little brother.
He answered in the best way possible. Goes, okay, I'll get my billionaire to buy out both games. We'll meet at Jerry World, and we'll call it good. It's not going to happen, but yeah, he had to say something, and he said the best possible thing.
Yes, he did. And if you don't, you are a little brother.
Yeah.
If you can't sit there and take it, there is no higher ground. And his answer to me was perfect. He didn't say na boo-boo. He just said, fine.
Yeah, we'll play. And
calls bluff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do is calls bluff and say, okay, let's do that then. Your 2s and 3s versus, my ones, and we'll see where we're at.
Who would win between Texas Tech and Texas? See, the problem in game number 1 is that none of their quarterbacks will be ready in game 1. Even Hammond, from a year ago?
He's coming off a big injury.
Week 4, he might be 100%, but he might play in week 3.
I would pick Texas, just for Arch has a full year underneath him. Hammond got hurt and didn't play much, and be different if they had Sorsby maybe, but still I don't think, Tech lost some key pieces there. I'm not sure. Obviously, they probably did well in the portal, but, are they going to have the defensive line and, that they had, in the All-American linebacker and, those type of things? Again, we don't know.
I think Texas Tech might be a top 12 team, but I think Texas is a top 3 team.
Yeah, probably so. You're probably right. So if I was betting, I would bet on picking Texas in that game.
I still like it. And as far as trash talk goes, I'll take this versus anything Kiffin says.
It's summertime. Like, this is what happens is, you get to all these media days and 8 million different mics shoved in front of you, and sometimes you say something stupid, which is what Sark did, and now it's turned into a thing. It's no different than what was the summer that Nick Saban popped off and
about A&M buying their class.
Yeah, and Jimbo went off on him, and it keeps the program. People are talking about your program in the offseason when football's still a ways away.
No coach in any sport should ever publicly talk about buying anything. Because A, if you're not, you're doing it wrong. B, they all do it. C, that's hypocritical. And Saban, of all people,
Saban was just mad.
Alabama don't buy players?
Yeah, Alabama was just mad that it was legal now, and they didn't have the advantage anymore. So,
well, he was mad he didn't have a big enough purse.
Yeah,
he was mad that other schools had more money than him.
He did when it was illegal. They were paying plenty. They had enough because not everybody was doing it, at that level. And so that's what Saban was mad about more than anything. But that number 1 class didn't work out so well for A&M, so mute point.
Earlier this week, I shared, because there was this infographic, because people are now attacking A&M's upcoming 27 class.
Oh, yeah, because it's got to be exactly like the other one was.
Because they have 5 stars, and it's on pace to be the number 1 class. So, and you can't attack anything in it. It's a great, and they're strong, like 2 of them are offensive linemen, 2 are in the D line, and it's being built the right way, too. It's the right 5 stars you want.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you kill to have a 5-star quarterback, but they do have a 4-star in there. But point being, the only way they can figure out to attack it, because Elko himself, you can't go at him. He's not Kiffin or a meathead, is by, you see what happened last time, which Jimbo, Elko's not Jimbo. These aren't the same player. So it's a pretty weak attack, but it's all they can do. So people are bringing it up a lot. So an infographic showed the 10 5 stars, 10, and start at 8 a.m. and then their path after. It's funny.
Yeah.
It is so bad.
A couple of them are in the NFL too.
There's like 4 or 5, but A&M got none of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Shamar Stewart's the only one.
Yeah, he's the one that stuck around.
Think about it. What a we know this, but to look at it that you had 10 5-stars and only one finished at A&M is just so insane.
Well, look, I mean, it was a philosophy and
is that what it was?
Offensive and defensive philosophy that was built in the 80s and 90s and was dead. And they were all looking once things didn't go the right way, they were looking for a way out.
You took players that never should have been on a college campus.
Yeah,
but their stars were high.
You had some questionable characters in there.
Yeah, and that's what derailed any chance for the rest of it.
You can take one or two of those. You can't have a class half full of them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear. A&M football this week. We know the first 3 kick times, so you can now plan your tailgating, except you can't tailgate for Arizona State.
Yeah. Where's that one at anyways?
Here. All the first 3 games are here. Kyle Field.
Why can't I tailgate for Arizona
11
State?
a.m.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I won't. I won't. I won't. I really won't. I won't tailgate for 11 a.m. games.
And you're the king of tailgating. You live for it. It's the only reason why
it's the only reason I go to games. I don't even go in. I just stay out at the tailgate. But no, 11 a.m.'s tailgating's no fun.
You sure?
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, but Missouri State, first game of the year, 6.
6, yeah, we'll tailgate for that.
Do you do the all-gate tailgating thing? Like if it's 6 or 2:30, you just start when you want?
Yeah, we usually start around lunch, probably. Yeah, usually start around lunch.
I got to figure out a way, I guess before I die, and if you'll invite me, I don't want to invite myself, but take a home game off so I could tailgate with you.
So you can tailgate anytime.
Yeah? Open invite?
Open invite.
Because that means you're cooking.
Yeah, if it's a night game, I'm cooking something, so.
Ribs?
2:30 game. I've done it before. Typically something a little easier that feeds more people, because with ribs and you get 20, 30, 40 people at the tailgate, that doesn't go a long ways, or you got to cook a ton of them. So
that would cost a lot of money.
Yeah, it's usually a brisket or pulled pork, or we've done everything. I usually I've made pork belly. I mean, I've cooked about everything you can cook out of the tailgate.
A brisket for a tailgate. Yeah. That's a long cook.
Yeah, no, not if you do it the night before and just hold it.
Well, I mean, if you cook it the night before, it's still a long cook. You just do it ahead of time,
doing it ahead of time.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Kentucky's 2:30. Get third game of the year. Boom, you're right in SEC play.
SEC play. Well, I mean, at least they're right into the SEC play. I mean, obviously they've got a new coach, and things made a little bit different, but they're still Kentucky. So
I've realized that there's something to complain about at every start time except 6 o'clock, in my opinion. Because 11 a.m. is way too early. Yeah, way too early. Yeah. At 2:30 Kentucky, it's going to be 195 degrees.
Probably.
Okay?
Yeah. Unless
it's going to be
get
blazing.
Unseasonably, cool weather in September. But normally, because we have a cook-off in September, and it's normally 105 degrees.
Hey, was it last year unseasonably cool in September compared to the norm?
Normal, yeah. Last year's wasn't, because it was the Notre Dame game last year. Because we watched it after we stayed out there. We always bring a TV and watch the game out there. So
it
wasn't that bad.
Unseasonably, I said warm. Unseasonably cool. I
it's
said
normally
it right,
105.
Yeah, it was unseasonably cool.
It was like 95
in September last year.
Yeah,
which we'll take. I saw this week, and you know how this is. This is off-season stuff, right? Mike Elko was ranked as the 14th best head coach in the country, which was up 15 spots from where he started last year.
Yeah.
He was 29.
Yeah, which we were like, that made no sense. But, I mean, I think I would have him closer to the top 10 than outside of it. But, I think you can make a fair argument over several probably coaches. I don't even know who are in front of him, but I could make an argument for several of them.
Whenever I see a ranking, and it can be players by position, the team in the way too earlys, or even in season, right? I like to go plus or minus 3. I look at the 3 in front, 3 behind, and so they're zip code kind of thing. Well, for Mike Elko, here's the 3 in front. 13 is James Franklin at Vatech. 12 is Kalani Sitake at BYU.
Come on.
11 is Dabo Sweeney, and 10 is Kyle Whittingham at Utah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take him in front of everybody. I mean, look, Dabo 5 years ago, he's a top 3 coach. He's lost it. Let's all be honest, and this will probably be his last season there if things don't turn around. But you can't, give me Elko over Whittingham and Sitake, whoever, and give me any of those. Give me Elko over any of those guys.
Okay.
You can make an argument for Dabo that he's just had a bad couple years and see how he rebounds. Because look, like I said, 5 years ago, Dabo, you would have had him in your top 3. Top 5, whatever it may be. So I get him still hanging around there just to see if he can turn it around, but the others, no.
There's 4 coaches I just mentioned. 3, I don't flinch.
No,
I'm
that's what I'm
taking
saying.
Elko over Dabo, Kyle, and Sataki, and I don't want to insult the 3 of them. Those are great coaches.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Elko without flinching.
Yeah, absolutely.
James Franklin is a fascinating debate.
He just got fired from Penn State.
But he got fired winning 10 and 11 games every year.
Yeah, true.
Okay?
True.
So you have to be careful with James Franklin.
Yeah.
And because
Well,
he got
that's
fired.
why I didn't mention him and I mentioned the others. I'm
Yes.
kind of like you.
So here's what I think of between him and James Franklin, though. We now know James Franklin's upside is that he can't get over the hump to be Ohio State and Michigan. Very few can.
Yeah.
That's still not an insult. He wins 10 games when he falls out of bed.
But can he get over the hump beating Miami and Clemson? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Now
you still have to
Clemson-
recruit to Virginia Tech, which is not, they've never been this huge powerhouse.
Kenny Portal. He doesn't have to recruit. Kenny Portal to Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
It's a new world we live in.
Yeah, true.
And Kenny Portal enough to be the number 2 team in the ACC. He doesn't have to be beating Ohio State and Michigan. See, this is a different world for him. I'm fascinated by that move to Va Tech.
Yeah, we'll
and I
see.
do wonder if that's what factored into it.
It was a
Because I
great
don't
hire.
even know why he took Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, stay out of the SEC, stay out of the Big Ten, and you got an easier path to the playoff.
You just have to be the number 2 team. Let Miami do whatever. And Miami's got their whole state.
Win 10 games and be the number, 9, 10 games, and you'll probably be in, especially with the, whatever it expands to at some point. Like, it's just an easier road
to the playoff.
Yep.
So, back to the Elko. So, I think Elko has a higher upside than Franklin does because I think Elko is an extremely modern coach, and I don't know if Franklin is. Yeah. But Elko has to win 10 falling out of bed like Franklin does.
Elko's been doing this the last, been
trajectory up.
Yeah. And so, with Franklin, you do have to take into account he did get fired. And so, yes, if you made me choose one or the other, then I'm taking Elko.
I want to go deeper because we just looked at the in front, and I'm moving Elko up 3 spots to 11, and Kiffin's at 9. Kiffin or Elko?
Elko.
I need more data points.
I don't like Kiffin's antics.
Don't make it personal. Just from what he's done. He went to Ole Miss, which is a historical nothing program.
Outside of when they were cheating, they were good.
Well, other than when Hugh Freeze, who was it Tunsil at the NFL draft that said, "I don't know, I just got my money from the coaches."
Yeah.
Sorry. And Hugh Freeze in his black book. But what Kiffin did there was pretty phenomenal. Like,
1 year.
No, he won more than the 1 year. He just only made the college football playoff in 1 year.
That's all that counts anymore.
And there's many programs that only made the college football playoff. Never, because when it was 4 team, only 3 teams made it every year.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard to give Kiffin credit because you want to punch his dog.
Well, Kiffin's a modern coach too. I mean, it's, obviously his offenses are always going to be pretty good. It's, I wouldn't call it like the Mike Leach thing, but he's got to have the right defensive coordinator running the right scheme over there because all his knowledge there is offensive.
Yeah, and he's probably a great coach to be a DC for because it appears
I'm sure
he doesn't screw with them.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's a great players coach. I'm sure they all like him, but he's one of the boys, type of deal. So that's a close one. I think I'd still take Elko.
I know I'd feel cleaner having Mike Elko as my head coach.
Yeah, right.
It'd be easier
you're making it personal
for my. Well, you did first.
I know, of course I did.
Okay, so debate Elko Kiffin. Here's the one: Kalen DeBoer.
Elko. DeBoer won at Washington, obviously, but it was. I mean, the Michael Penix year really was the only year
carried by one.
Yeah, and he's gotten the Alabama job, and they haven't done anything. They made the playoffs with him at Alabama.
I went deeper specifically.
He took over the best roster in college football, the easiest place to recruit,
and turned them soft. That's the thing; they play so soft under him.
Yeah,
both lines of scrimmage. The team climate,
he got
mentality.
handed the keys to the palace, the ultimate of college football, and he's fumbled it so far.
Yes, I would take, and that's the thing, and that's why I wanted to go deeper. Cristobal at 7. Cristobaling is a thing. If he got over the hump, because they did not Cristobal, then he's shot up to maybe top 4 because he's a godlike recruiter.
Yeah,
he's one of the best in the game. And now if he can stop some of his urges or tendencies. Yeah, Miami might be a new dynasty that opened.
Yeah, that one would be
one year doesn't make it so, but we'll see.
No, we'll see. I mean, he was really good before he got there, and yeah, I mean, just if he could stop running plays on when the game's over with and just take a knee and get out of his own way, then
yes, just do stuff that makes sense.
Not a great game manager, but obviously a great recruit. I don't know. That's kind of a toss up. That's a close one.
Now. Okay, Day, Freeman, Smart, the top 5 I don't think we need to touch.
No,
they're there and they've
there
earned
because
them. So here's the one, and we'll take a commercial break because you know how it goes. You got to pay bills. Sark is at 6.
Yeah.
Elkos at 14. Timeout, you think about it, we'll discuss it. And we got a million things we're going to talk about today. Just, it's an epic, epic sports week and heading into the weekend here on the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. I always say text me, right? Text. Did you know that you can talk to me? Like, some people, I'm too nervous to be on the radio, but you can ask questions too. You can join me on the D4 Land Services hotline at 979-693-1150. If you ever need your land cleared, land excavated, land fixed up, d4landservices.com. But they also do forestry mulching, pond construction. They do custom metal buildings from the ground up. Go check them out at d4landservices.com.
The Louie Bellina Show. Dial 979-693-1150.
Hello.
To visit with him.
Hello.
Or to win.
Hello.
On the D4 Land Services hotline. Dial 979-693-1150.
Bryce, I know you've heard this, but I got to share, right? Auburn, who's kind of been the bane of Aggie baseball, has begun their regional play. They're hosting. They're the number 4 national seed, I think it is. Has given up 4 runs to Milwaukee in the first inning.
Don't laugh. Don't do it.
That vaunted Auburn pitching staff that the Aggies can't crack the code on has given up 4 runs to Milwaukee in the first inning.
Milwaukee.
I just had to share that.
Don't share it. Shouldn't have.
Why?
Bad juju.
Man, you believe in that stuff?
I do.
All right.
You know I do. You know
do.
I absolutely do.
Because you're a gambler, and that's how gamblers do.
Gambler, former baseball player.
You want a rabbit's
There's
foot.
not much more superstition than that.
You want a bloody rabbit's foot in your pocket or something like that. I asked you a question before the break, because we've been looking at coaches.
Ask it again. I don't remember.
The Elko ranking, 14. Well, Elko at 14, Sark at 6.
That's a bigger gap than what it should be. I mean, we've already determined that Elko should be, down inside the top 10. I mean, it's hard.
He's 11 men, maybe 10 or 9 even, but
probably.
11 men.
Yeah, and Sark, I don't know. Obviously he's not the top 5, and they kind of underachieved last year. Probably should have gotten the playoff if there weren't, 2 automatic bids that went to teams that shouldn't have been there, but they didn't. And so he's been there, is it 4 years now for Sark? 5?
Yeah, and been to 2 college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Won games.
Yeah.
And he's not just been a participant.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you would right now just based off of now Elko hasn't had the years as the head coach here at A&M to match that at this point. So you'd have to have Sark ahead.
Fair enough. So
even though Sark mismanages games a lot too, particularly with his play calling.
His play calling, and I think Longhorn fans would tell you, especially his red zone play calling, is scarily suspect.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I see a lot of, Longhorn media and Longhorn fans, that end up retweeted on the timeline that, are not a fan of his play calling and think he should hire an OC.
So before we jump into baseball, Astros, then Aggies, and more, something else that caught my attention this week, The Athletic ranked the top 100 players from the portal this past season, college football portals. And the Aggies have one that made like the top 25. Isaiah Horton was at number 18. And I fully expect that the A&M wide receiving core will move forward, let alone not lose a step. And that's after losing a first-round wide receiver. Because I think the core, Mario Craver stays healthy for the whole year because he was an All-American until the last month got injured.
ABR, too, was not healthy the entire year.
And he broke out over the second half. Yeah. So you're already starting with, we'll just say your number 2 and 3 wide receivers are better than a year ago. So even if Horton is not Concepcion, but Horton himself is pretty bleeping good himself, you have a better wide receiving core.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, if they stay healthy. That was the only reason. Last year's, I think, would have been better with Concepcion if everybody stayed healthy, but just because I don't think Horton is Concepcion. But, yeah.
But he's not, he's not that many steps behind, I think.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, he hasn't shown it really. Now, I will say this. When KC transferred, he had a lot more production than Isaiah Horton. It was a more known.
Okay.
Isaiah Horton's, hasn't had as much production and more of a, he's got the talent level, just needs to, the right scheme or whatever it may be.
So here are the Aggies that made the top 100. Horton was 18. Saka's 52. And with Saka, you want to see that. I feel like with the D-line, who's up next is like the Elko thing, because not many of them necessarily were all predictable of who's the breakout D lineman that goes on to be a first-round NFL pick kind of caliber guy. But and people are pointing to Saka as who's next for A&M, but he is 52. And in 2025, he made like the Bruce Feldman freak list that he does every year, just to give you insight into him. Ricky Gibson III, the cornerback from Tennessee, who basically spent the year injured, I think is what happened to him.
Yeah.
But he's expected to be like, he's 56, but the expectation I keep seeing from him is like all SEC cornerback.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the, media members are putting on him. We'll, have to see how healthy. I mean, obviously he should be fully recovered, but sometimes it takes a little time after a year off to kind of get back into things. I'm kind of surprised, that there's not more top 20 guys that, for your highest ranked one to be 18 and the next one at 52. I know they've done a good job of identifying guys in the portal and fitting them to what they need, and just would have thought you'd have had more, bigger names, higher rankings in there.
Here's your Gibson stat. So 25 wasn't a season for him with the injury, right? Upper body injury in the first half of the season. In 2024, he was among the top SEC corners in fewest yards per reception and forced incompletion percentage.
Yeah, and that was as a freshman too.
Yeah, so probably not the most number of snaps, but it doesn't change that stat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's been a lot of hype around him since getting here.
At number 61, I have put him down as my most fascinating transfer, because if he is what he was at Tulsa, he fixes the linebacker core. Their biggest problem was their coverage area kind of thing, the athleticism overall. But Ray Coney, the linebacker, Tulsa. And he's big, physical in the middle, but yet still has the ability to go. I call it coast to coast, but it's sideline to sideline.
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest issue, you need him. You actually need him to be really good because of the Sanford injury.
Sure. Even before you need a linebacker. Again, big physical presence in the mid. That's the write-up. Big physical presence in the middle, which stopping that run, the word fit used so often, I want to just keep pounding my head into the keyboard here.
A&M didn't move on to the playoffs because of a bad run fit late in the game.
Here's a stat. His missed tackle rate, 7.3, was second best in the league among linebackers with at least 500 snaps.
There you go.
Missed tackle rate. So
now, going from Tulsa to the SEC,
I know,
big difference. But yes.
Live up to it.
You have to. Yeah,
that's it. Just be that guy.
He has to.
You can go coast to coast. You can be the middle linebacker, and I know there's but that stops the mid. I got a tear forming in my left eye.
Yeah,
isn't he exactly what the doctor ordered?
Yeah, I mean, on paper he is.
I know, and you and I share that.
On paper,
until you do it, you ain't done it. Okay.
Yep.
But be that guy.
Be that guy. Yeah, please be that guy.
Number 64 is they got Alabama O tackle Wilkin Formby, and
who they need to be that guy too.
You know what though? At 64, can I put all four of the linemen they got from the SEC, all across the SEC, all the former starters at other schools? I put them all in the same category. They all need to be that guy. But Wilkin Formby from offensive tackle for Alabama, and that's a good number. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
5 in the top 100, ranked from 18 to 64.
Yeah, and you're taking a smaller sample size than what you did. But if you were only getting 5 of the Texas top 100 in high school, you wouldn't be too happy with that. But
no,
smaller sample size. So yeah, I mean, I would have expected some guys to land at a few more bigger fish, but they got what they got. We'll see how it works out.
One thing I keep harping on is I give Elko and his staff 100% credit because of their hit rate and development rate.
That's why you have to. That's why you don't see me throwing a bigger fit about.
Yeah,
not free. It's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, the top of the portal, Cam Coleman.
Yeah, easy.
Went to Texas. Jordan Seaton, that offensive tackle, Colorado, went to LSU. Mensa, the quarterback, that went to Miami. Sam Levitt went to LSU. Messmaker, who went with his coach to Okie State. Josh Hoover went to Miami. The edge from Missouri went to Miami. Damian Wilson. Prince Umanumanamu went from Ole Miss to LSU. Melvin Siena, the offensive tackle, went to Texas. there's only 3 names that pop up throughout the entire top 20, and it's Texas and like LSU.
Yeah,
it's pretty consistent.
They were in on Prince too, the Ole Miss kid that went to wherever he went, Miami, wherever it was.
Rasheem Biles, the linebacker from Pitt, went to
Texas. Yeah, everybody was after him. So
Byron Brown, but he went with his coach to Auburn. That's the most fascinating. This is a quarterback. I just wasn't familiar with UCF, and he's popped up everywhere now for Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's that guy. If he's that, you keep coming back to. At number 14 was Hollywood Smothers. Running back went to Texas. And anyway, you get the point. Number 21 is another running back from Arizona State, Raleek Brown, who went to Texas. And there you go.
There you go. That's those top 20 names. That's kind of what you heard Texas in there, 5 times?
It's about,
Yeah. So.
And it's nice to recruit off the list, but if you don't develop one, they don't fit your system.
1,000% agree.
And that's, I think, Elkos' strength is, he's getting players, but
now we're back into those he plays like a 4-star.
that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Before we take a timeout, Astros beat the Rangers last night 5-1.
Again.
Spencer Arrighetti is going to win the MVP, the Cy Young Pitt Comeback Pitcher of the Year. He's a god. He now, after 8 starts, is 1.34 ERA. Only 7 starters in Astros history have had a lower ERA after 8 starts. That is what we call perspective. Astros just went on a week-and-a-half road trip, 10 games, went 7-3. They've won 5 of their first 7 games against the Rangers. They're 6 games under 500 for the first time since April 22nd. And guess what? They won back-to-back series for the first time this year. It's been so bad.
And you know what? Jordan's on a heater. He's just absolutely hitting bombs all over the place.
He hit 5 home runs against the Rangers in 4 games.
They flashed a graphic up there like Globe Life home run leaders, and Jordan was one of them. And one of the 10 they flashed up there, and they were all Rangers, and then Jordan has hit 17 or something stupid at Globe Life.
It's so insane.
Yeah, he's on a heater. And
Arrighetti's on a heater.
Hader is back throwing. I think I saw Christian Javier's back throwing. So, you get healthy.
Hader could come back next week.
Christian
Pittsburgh
Walker's
series. Brown could come back end of next week or the week after. Javier is away. He's throwing. He's throwing.
I know. I'm just saying, things are looking up. Things are looking up.
Astros are 2.5 back.
Yeah, and about to get 3, 4, 5 guys back. So we'll see.
It's so sick.
Jordan, they need it. But Jordan's having an MVP type year right now. Scared us the other day when they pulled. He went day to day because of back spasms. It was like, oh, here we go. And he played the next day and hit 2 bombs. So.
I did that. No, would God do that to us on my
well,
knees?
You see, Jordan leaves the game with back spasms. Like, oh, he's done for 6 months.
Trainer came out to help him, and I'm just like. Yeah. Seriously.
I'm
like, okay.
Of course he did.
This is too low. I would probably swear off baseball forever if they took Jordan. Now, and Jordan's the most injury-prone Astro of other than Lance McCullers. He's the most injury-prone Astro. So if he went out, it'd make sense. But at this point, if you decide to take everyone else and the Astros keep fighting back, so the only way to break their wills is to take Jordan, that's one step too far.
Yeah, I'm done then.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and I'll get Brice's thoughts on the College Station Regional. A little Aggie baseball on a Friday because it's Regional Friday. Well, that's why. It's the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric Friday on the Zone.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
The Louie Bellina Show. It's awesome. The Louie Bellina Show, where impossible is not a fact.
That's impossible.
Listen in weekdays, 11 to 2 on the Zone.
Turn it up.
Bryce, I'll let you shoot your opening thoughts. I've been talking about this regional for 3-4 straight days, but how about for you?
Opening thoughts is I don't think it was. I know it's a tougher. All the regionals are going to be tough. Right now, now Auburn's down 6-0 to Milwaukee. Anything can happen.
By the way, did everyone hear that?
Yeah,
Auburn
down 6-0.
The number 4 national seeds down 6-0 in the second.
Yeah,
to Milwaukee.
So, I don't hate. Obviously the pitching matchup. Lamar's ace, who they'll throw today, is really good. USC has a 1-2 punch that's really good. You just have to believe. Look, A&M can't. Obviously, they need to win today. If they lose tomorrow, they're in trouble. If not, they'll roll through this regional. If they lose tomorrow, they're probably toast, and they just don't have the pitching to go through any kind of losers bracket. Whether that's the regional, Omaha, whatever it is, they just don't. We know it because Aiden Sims is still an unknown at this point. Like,
all Early said is he won't throw Friday, and I'm like,
And he did say, if you listen, he said he threw 25 pitches the other day. And what that meant, was it flat ground? Was it on a mound? Was it a bullpen? What was it? So
was it on a PC controller?
We still don't know about Aiden Sims. So, I mean, obviously you got Sadeo tonight, and or tonight, actually, not tonight, in like 2 hours. But, yeah, so I don't hate any of the matchups. Texas State obviously has already beaten A&M. A&M crushed Lamar on a Tuesday, but that's different. They're going to throw they're throwing their Friday guy who was the pitcher of the year in the Southland Conference. So I don't know what to think. What I think is, A&M's offense has got to score 5, 6, 7 runs a game to get through the regional.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
They need to bounce back. They got to bounce back in a bit. Well, look, outside of Texas State, they slug, right? They hit. USC's not going to pummel you to death. Neither is
A&M's
Lamar.
pitching lets you pummel them to death.
True, it
That's
could happen.
the problem.
My hope is, I think it's a little bit of relief from SEC play. SEC ball. Obviously USC is a good baseball team, but for me, A&M's offense should be able to carry them through the regional. I think it's huge getting Partita back, but will Aiden Sims pitch this weekend? We'll see.
A&M will face the Southland pitcher of the year, and then the Big Ten pitcher of the year.
Yeah, and the number, as far as like metrics and stats go, the number one left-handed pitcher in all of college baseball.
Jeez, that's the first 2 games.
Yep, first 2 games.
But remember something, and this is something that's been in my head all week, and I've talked about, but they're not the SEC pitcher of the year.
Exactly,
A&M has faced that caliber all year, like most weekends. And it doesn't belittle what they're going to do for the Southland pitcher of the year and the Big Ten pitcher of the year, but this isn't foreign territory.
And we've only seen, 2 SEC pitchers really shut them down. Aiden King from Florida, and then the kid from Auburn, in the SEC tournament. That's the only ones where you really King gave up 1 run or no runs, and this
King dominated.
And
pure.
so did this. The Auburn kid. I forget his name, but outside of that,
they faced that Auburn pitcher twice.
Yeah,
and the first time they hit him for 5 runs.
Yeah, this time
the SEC tournament, I think A&M had no interest being there.
Yeah, well, they needed to have interest being there because it cost them hosting a super regional.
Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, it's funny though that when you look at it like the SEC, all these end of season tournaments have never carried much weight, and then this year it carried a ton of weight. Like, I love how they move the goalposts anytime they need to get who they want.
Anytime it's A&M.
Well, look, when you're looking at the matchups, as soon as A&M fell past 10, you're like, oh, they're matching A&M with Texas. Like they're going to do it, and then they did, and you're like, well, what the hell? Okay, well now where are we at? So. You have to wonder if Mr. Schlossnagel there placed a phone call and said, "Hey, don't do that to us this year."
The fact that I heard, and maybe I heard wrong, but that the committee, for some reason, intentionally did not want to.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Where every committee, every time,
has
every
always
sport
wanted to.
Intentionally wants to. Why would they take a stance this year? Where did that come from?
Because somebody with some pull made a phone call and said, "Hey, let's not do that this year."
That's the riddle we'll never hear the answer to.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Why this year?
It was interesting because they take any opportunity they can to match A&M
Softball
Texas.
committee paired them.
Softball, volleyball, basketball. It doesn't matter. They're going to pair them somehow, some way with Texas, and for whatever reason they did. You just knew it. I think I tweeted. I was like, "Oh, here we go, Matt, super against Texas."
I have no trouble with them not wanting to pair it. It does get old. It screws over the SEC. Take the names off of it, but pairing 2 teams from the same conference, any conference in a super, screws over the conference. I don't like it.
And they do it to the SEC all the time. They don't do it to anybody.
SEC has
he's got so many teams. I know, but
so I have no trouble with the concept, but taking a team that was a borderline 8, saying we can't make them the 11 because we that's not a data metric, but we don't want to rematch them because we do it so often. Forcing them to a 12 when it was too much.
And giving them the top 2, one of the top 2 seeds, if not the top 2 seed. So.
Which the problem was, I understood how you end up with USC because you can't get Arkansas and you can't get, there was Tennessee, right? You couldn't get any of the SEC teams, which were the better 2s. So you were forced to get the best non-SEC 2.
Yeah. And again, look, every regional is tough. Everybody gets, it's like when they look at it, it's like, oh, this regional is easier than this one. Like, I don't. You can
There's some that are a mutt.
Yeah, and look, this one with the pitching staff. The good thing is you've got a great offense. You just need them to bounce back and show up.
Again, the way this committee mind screwed itself into putting A&M at a 12 is fascinating.
Yeah,
because A&M, they're not an 8, probably a 10.
Yeah, that's where everybody kind of predicted them was at 10 and matched up with Alabama in the Supers, and then it just kept, got past 10, and that's when he thought, okay, here comes Texas. Then they passed 11, 12. Like, look, they took into. I was telling my oldest son this because he's like, "There's no way." Before the SEC tournament, he's like, "We're locked into a Super." I was like, "No, we're not." I was like, "We're not." I was like, "The committee will take into account that we have no pitching and that our best pitcher hasn't pitched in 2 weeks." I was like, "They're gonna," and I think that's what happened. They took into account that the injuries and Pertita was still hurt, Hakopian can only DH, and you have one arm that you can trust. He had or two. One's the closer, and the other one hasn't pitched in 3 weeks. So I absolutely think they took that into account, and that's why they dropped.
Yeah, the committee took too many non-data points and metrics into account when they dealt with A&M. They took too many things they're not supposed to.
Yeah,
too many
but
things
that's
not
what happens when you have humans, committees, and if it's not a computer, human is going to come into it, and that's what happened.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Again, and that's my whole point. They did things that are not supposed to be on the table.
A&M committees don't mesh well.
Do you have any theory on that? Did A&M piss someone off 100 years ago, and the curse carries till today?
I guess. So
because you notice it's cross sports.
Yeah,
that's the fascinating part.
Yeah,
it's not like A&M rugby. It's A&M football. It's A&M basketball. It's A&M baseball. It's A&M softball. It's every committee. Every committee rounds A&M down. That's how I'll say it. Every A&M committee rounds A&M down. Well, for some reason.
Because they did it in softball too. It's a moot point now because they couldn't get out of the regional, but they moved A&M down to match them with Texas in the Super.
Okay. If we're talking about the softball committee, A&M's RPI was 17. They ended up at 15. Yeah. And they ended up as the 8th or 9th host. So A&M softball did not get host.
No, I'm not saying, but they maneuvered it.
Over the years, where they paired them with Oklahoma during Oklahoma's dynasty, 5 out of 6 years or 5 out of 7, that was insanity. Even when it meant an imbalanced regional for Norman or a matchup, that was incorrect.
Yeah, it's always going to be that way. There's always going to be issues with committees and boards and whoever's making the decisions. They're going to take in things into consideration that they shouldn't. They should look at the numbers and the metrics. And, if RPI is the end all be all of everything, then that should be it. But yeah, they're going to take into account that A&M's pitching staff is a mess.
Brice and I were talking earlier, maybe during the commercial at one of our timeouts, and I think we're both in complete agreement. If they lose Saturday, there's just no chance. They can't win 3 games from there.
I don't think so. Not the way the pitching staff is and how they performed so far this year. Now, could the offense score 10 runs a game and mash their way through, the losers bracket? Absolutely.
But the percent chance of that
is very slim.
Because they can score 10 runs. But if we've learned nothing else, we've watched this team lose games where they score 12 because they'll give up 14.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is if they lose the game Saturday, then they'd have games 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. No, and they got to
4 and 5. Who are they throwing in 4 and 5?
They got to win this afternoon first off and foremost.
I'm not stressing it because if I have to stress that, then what are we talking about?
Yeah, true. I mean, if you're worried about the 1-4, right. But yeah,
they got to win Saturday. Yeah. Got to win Saturday. Then you just got play 2 to win 1. And
I don't think there's many 4s that have a pitcher that has the type of numbers that this kid has, though. That's the only difference. I know. There's not many 4 seeds with a pitcher with the ERA and strikeouts that this kid has. Even though I get it, Southland Conference, not the same competition, but still, the dude's legit.
Don't lose Saturday, and then the conclusion. Then
don't lose. How about this?
You get all these games. You get all these scouting reports.
Don't lose again, and we're national championship. Right.
Well, yeah. If you don't lose again, you're going to do really well in the postseason.
Just win, baby.
But don't lose Saturday up first. That's
just win.
That's so blazing in my head.
Let's not lose it all. How about that?
I agree with it. The probability of it's the problem I have.
Hey, come on. All you got to do is get it on the heater. Got to believe. Positive thoughts only.
When we return, we got to wrap things up. Final thoughts. And look, that means for you, your final chance to text 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. I'll see what you have to say inside the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile and Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. It's the Louie Bellina Show, Friday on the Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show. Dial 979-693-1150. Hello. To visit with him. Hello. Or to win. Hello. On the D4 Land Services Hotline. Dial 979-693-1150.
Brice, College Station Regional. What's your gut telling you?
I think A&M comes out of the regional. I do think the offense is good enough. Having Partita back is big. They really need Jorian to kind of go back to being the Jordan from a couple of weeks ago, he struggled a little bit here lately, but I think A&M, I don't hate any of the matchups and think the offense will carry them through.
I love A&M. I tend to have an inferiority complex for schools that are not the SEC. I've never lied about that. And I understand the pitcher of the week in this conference, that conference. The thing with USC is I love their numbers, and Mitch Light of The Athletic with his scouting report on them is they're a really good team, but they've never beaten the best teams on their schedule this year.
They're 1-11 against like the top 50 RPI or something like that. So, yeah.
And I don't know why that would end this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, here's the litmus test for A&M, though. Are they one of the best teams on USC's schedule? A&M finished third. I think that earns you one of the best teams on the schedule this year.
Look,
third in the SEC.
For me,
even if the committee doesn't think so, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think the only way A&M doesn't get out of this regional if the offense struggles like it has in several games in a row.
And they only struggle in game ones.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They score 10 runs and lose 12-10. Yeah. My bad. It's the truth, right?
So, I think A&M gets out of the regional. Be interesting to see. Obviously they're matched up with North Carolina. That could be a fun one.
Get out of here.
Later.
I'll talk to you. Be awesome. This has been the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric Friday on the Zone.
Your home for Texans Live, the Louie Bellina Show, and Chip Howard Sports Talk is the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Listen on the Zone app or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150.
Play Zone 1150.
Listen live on your phone, smart speaker, computer, or the Zone app. Powered by Loyalty Plumbing, where craftsmanship and loyalty is their business. Visit LoyaltyPlumbingLLC.net. Take the Zone and your favorite teams and shows with you wherever you go.